Yep. Okay. Interview with Bruno Kovalrik of Hypnos, part three.
Bruno is okay.
Bruno
Everybody
is okay.
understands me.
Okay, Bruno. So let's continue with
Actually,
Hypnos.
it sounds French. Bruno. Is it French
Yes, yes.
name?
Uh, Bruno is a French. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
So this brings me this name brings me closer to my French fans.
Okay. So let's continue with Hypnos. In first, can you explain this name? Why did you choose it?
Because I like the word and I saw it on the first album of Stage. When Stage released the first album for God Flash, there is the one song called Hypnos. And I
Okay.
like the word. I like the word because it was short and it seemed to me to be easy spoken by Czechs, by Germans, by Americans, by anyone. Short, straight name. So this is why I decided to call the band Hypnos. And actually, it was nothing about the story behind the God of Sleep and so on. It came just later. But actually, it was nothing against my feels, and now I'm quite satisfied. I go with this name for 25 years already, so we get used together.
Okay. Uh,
Can you hear me, Emmanuel?
I have a little bug, but yes, I hear. Uh, it seems okay. I hope.
Okay, okay, because I didn't hear you for a while.
Okay. Um, so you released first EP, followed by the album In Blood We Trust. It seems the style is closer thrash than death metal, and there are new elements like a punk hardcore side and some occasional keyboards. Can you explain your vision of the band on this album?
Actually, my goal was to continue in the vein of the Orthodox album. I just was thinking I will write the new album that will be sounding as the Orthodox. But every album is a mixture of influences, mixture of personalities, and mixture of time when it's created. And it happened the way as it was released. Yes, the album sounding a bit like of mix of death and thrash metal, and sound is not as good as on the Orthodox album. Uh, uh, but anyway, we get a new fans, and I must say that first album had really a success, and it brought us on a large European tour with Morbid Angel and Behemoth, and it was really very good start for us. Very good.
Hmm? Okay. Um, there is also love song, something unusual in your repertoire. Can you talk about it?
It's also a funny story behind. In Czech Republic, there's the famous thrash band called Arakine. It's an old band who started in probably 84 or 5 or 84 or 85. And this band was and still is a real legend among thrash metal bands. And from time to time, we get on the same concerts together, some festivals, and we became friends. Even they were 7, 10 years older than we were. And they were kind of our mentors. They were like smarter daddies of us, and they were making jokes on Krabator and later on Hypnos. Uh, while we are singing about death only, about bad things, disasters. Why we are not writing the songs about love? And it was many times just the issue of the jokes for them. And I said myself, okay, our kind guys want to have the song about love. I will write it and dedicate it to them. And this song is really dedicated to band Arrakine. It's called Love Song. And it's about the love of the guy to the woman he killed before. And he's making love with her when she's dead. So it's a story about love of necrophile. So love story in death metal lyric.
Yes, it looks
But
like
anyway, it's kind of joke. It's not too serious. It's a kind of funny joke and just fabricated story.
Okay. It reminds me a song of a kind of song of Alice Cooper when he sings about love. This,
Yeah.
okay. On the EP, we find The Cave, a bulldozer cover. So I don't know this band. Can you introduce them?
I was a really big fan of the album The Final Separation from Italian Bulldozer. This is the album from 86 year. And actually it was the only one I knew from the band, but I loved it. I love it till now. The Final Separation it's a really masterpiece for me. And when I was thinking about the cover, I was many times thinking about the Bulldozer songs because they are really catchy and heavy and they have everything I need in the music. And when we prepared 3 new songs for the EP, they were too short and we needed one more. And I didn't have on song. So I was like, hey, we must do the cover. So I decided for Bulldozer and I told it to the guys in the studio. They didn't know it before. They even didn't hear about Bulldozer before. They didn't know the band too. So the first day in the studio, we rehearsed the song. And next day, we recorded it. And I still like it. I would like to see one day Bulldozer, but I don't know if it's really gonna happen one day. But as I told you, for me, it was a really huge band compared to Venom, for example, in the late 80s. For me, it was really big band.
Okay. um, 2001 and the second album, The Revenge Ride. Like In Blood We Trust, the cover is taken from a book called Allgemein Wohlgeschichtstes das Volk.
Yeah.
Can you explain the meaning of this cover?
This is the book I have from my grandfather, and he was a serviceman in the old church or something like that, on the place where the nuns were accommodated, and they gave him this book. And this really very old book from 19th century, and there is a lot of brutal pictures. And I remember when I was a little kid, 5, 6, 7 years old, I was many times just watching the pictures in that book, and I was shocked by brutality of that. And it's old black and white paintings, and actually it is a history of the world. There are real world events shown in that book. And because I have strong connection with the book, I wanted to bring it on the Hypnos covers. Actually, we used first time we used it for the Chromator Rise of Brutality EP. There is the front cover on that EP also taken from this book, and also on the next Chromator videos Liquid, I guess there is also a few pictures from that used. So I decided to use it for the first album of Hypnos, In Blood We Trust, and then also for the next one, The Revenge Ride. I just wanted to follow the same line. I just wanted to make some significant mark. It could be recognized as a Hypnos mark, typical. But we changed it on the third album anyway.
Okay. So the song Journey into Doom reminds me God of Emptiness by Morbid Angel. Even this is not a plagiarism. Does this band is a big influence for you? And
to me too. Yeah, it's known that I'm a big fan of old Morbid Angel, and this is the Wordless Time Leaf is or God of Emptiness. These are really good songs. It might be maybe considered as little influence, but there was not a certain purpose to write the songs as a Morbid Angel. But I agree with you that the Journey into Doom sounds a bit like some of Morbid Angel tracks, God of Emptiness, or as I said, War is Slime Leaf, maybe.
Okay. So this album is produced by Harris Jones, who worked with creators Sodom, Gravedigger, and especially Halloween on Walls of Jericho. So, as a fan of Halloween, I would like to know if he told you some anecdotes regarding them.
Working with Harris Jones was a big dream for me. We really wanted to work with the famous world producer because we wanted to have really the album sounding on the international standard, because we were not satisfied with the productions made in Czech Republic or Slovakia, because in my opinion they were a little bit lower than compared to the international production, and we wanted to sound as any other band from United States or Germany or France or I don't know, whatever. I was amazed hearing how many bands recorded in Morris Sound. Even Low Blast recorded this Incarnate album in Morris Sound, or Sunlight Studio in Stockholm. It was a really studio bringing just pure great death metal sounds, and we wanted to have some good producer for the album. And of course, it was a question of money, but we agreed with the label Morbid Records at the time that we will go to Harris Jones. The other option was Andy Klassen from Stage One Studio in Germany. It's a Holy Moses guitarist. But in the end, we decided for Harris. And as you told, Harris did really great records as old Tankard albums, Sodom albums, Creator, Celtic Frost, Pestilence, Consuming Impulse, Voivod, and we arrived to the studio, and he was looking different than I expected. He was looking like an Indian. The long black hair, the small Lennon glasses, and he was very friendly and a nice guy to us. And I was like, hey man, this is the Harris Jones I was dreaming about. We spent 10 days together with the guy, and I was happy to work with him because it was really my dream. And I remember when I was recording vocals for Revenge Ride album, I told him, Harris, we are big fans of Consuming Impulse album of Pestilence. Please, I want the same microphone for vocals as the Martin van Drunen. Yeah, he said, okay, we'll get it. So he gave you the microphone, and he told this is the mic that Martin van Drunen used for Consuming Impulse. So for me, it was like some, like Indiana Jones, found in the pyramid some artifacts that was really godly for me. I'm non-believer, but these things I could touch, I could use, the Harris I could work with. It was really huge for me, huge. And as I said, my dream come true.
So, 2005, Rebel Manifesto. It seems this one was released in two versions with different masterings. Can you explain what has happened?
I don't know. It's a stupid story.
Okay.
We recorded the album in the time when the record label Morbid Records was really near to the breakdown. And we didn't know, even when we were in the studio, we didn't know it. Just in the middle of the recording session, I get a phone call from Olaf, from the one of the two main guys of Morbid Records, that he's leaving the label. And I was shocked. And it was the beginning of the end of the label, because 1 year after that, the Morbid Records collapsed. And we recorded the album with Harris. Morbid Records managed the mastering at Megavim, probably with Pluto. And they told us if we want license for Czech Republic, because we wanted license in Czech Republic, because the Czech Republic was a big market for us, and we wanted Czech label with good Czech distribution. And they said to us, if you want the license over Czech Republic and Slovakia, do your own mastering. Mastering will be used just for foreign countries. So we didn't expect it, but we said, okay, we will find someone who will make a mastering for the album. But in my opinion, I don't hear big difference between the Morbid Records mastering and between the Switch, the Czech edition mastering. It sounds almost very similar to me. And if I wouldn't know that, I wouldn't recognize any difference.
Okay. So Hypnos split in 2006. Can you tell us why?
Because of me.
Okay.
I was going through a hard life period. I divorced my wife. I had to change the accommodation place where I live now, which needed a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of work. Pegas, founding member, left the band. I had to find a new drummer and practice with him, and I was tired. I was almost 20 years doing the band and playing the shows and the new relationship. I realized that I do not have the power to run with all of these things. Just to build a house, to go to work, to be with the girl, and to do the band on the level I wanted. So I decided to quit something. I didn't know what, but I couldn't quit the house because I needed to live somewhere. I just didn't leave. I just didn't want to leave the new girl. I couldn't quit the work. I needed money. So I decided to quit the Hypnos. And at the moment, I didn't know if it's going to be forever, if it's going to be for 2 years, maybe, whatever. So I had no plans at all. I just quit with no future. And I was taking the rest. And I have to say it helped me. I was working on the house. I didn't have the schedule full of weekends on the road, in the van, on the stages, and so on. I really felt relaxed after 2 or 3 years. And after that, I was feeling like, hey, man, I would like to play the guitar for me at home, just for no one, no band, just for me to play guitar. And I bought a guitar. Then I bought the amplifier. Then I bought a Marshall cabinet. That one, I will show you.
Yes.
And I started to play at home in my house, just for me. And I started to like it. I was living alone because I quit a relationship with my girlfriend, and I started to live alone in my rebuilt house. And I played the guitar, and I was like, "Hey, man, I write some songs." So I wrote first song. I was like, for me, just for no one. And after a couple of weeks, I called to Pegas, drummer, and I was like, "Hey, Pegas, I just bought a guitar and an amp, and I'm just playing. I wrote one song. Don't you want to rehearse just for us, just for fun?" no serious. And he was like, okay, come to me. I have practice room and let's play together to have fun. So I put my amp, guitar, and box in my car. I drove to Slovakia because Pegas is from Slovakia, and we rehearsed. And after the rehearsal, we just went to the pub to have a beer, and we were drinking. And after 2 or 3 beers, we were like, "Hey, man, song sounds really good." Recording session.
Ah, ah, merde.
Are you there?
You have a bug? Ah,
You are stuck.
hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, okay, I'm here too. Sorry, my connection is not kind with me.
Don't worry.
Okay, uh, I let you continue. Okay, next week. Okay. Um, during the split, regarding you, I just found your participation as a guest to the album All Scars Are Opening by Sabatary. Did you make vocals on all the record or not?
Probably, probably, but it's so long time. I even do not remember it. It must be 25 years ago or 20 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
In my career, I did many guest appearances, many. And I remember a lot of things, but actually, I don't remember all of my guest appearances. My most impressive guest appearance is on the Vader album.
Yes, yes, I have a question
And
about.
yeah, so no need to talk about it now.
Okay. Um, 2009, you already reformed Hypnos and you release a new EP, Halfway to Hell, just with Pegas. Can you tell us about, is it what you said before?
Yeah, it's a continuation of the story I told you. We started to rehearse with Pegas, and we just felt the songs we wrote would be good to record. So we recorded them, and when it was recorded, what to do with it? Let's release it. So I was trying to find a label who released it, and then we put out the mini CD. And in the same time, we wanted to make some show. And our session guitarist, Igor from Root, he was like, hey man, call to promoters of brutal assault festivals. There's many people. It will be best place to have a comeback show. So I did it. And we really played 2010 at Brutal Assault in front of maybe 15,000 people. And it was really huge. We were well accepted. People are really happy we are back. And we were also feeling so good that we wanted to continue. But in the beginning of this comeback, we just didn't want to play that much. I was thinking we will play a few shows in a year and that's it. So that's why we even didn't try to find any manager. But after 1 year, after 2 years, I was like, hey, let's play more, let's play more, let's play more. And in the end, we play between 30 and 40 shows every year now, beside COVID times, of course.
Okay. The EP contains a special song, Symphony 5, La Resurrezione Feral.
Ferale.
Okay, okay, thanks. Which is symphonic. Do you played any instruments on it? And what importance do you give at this kind of song?
This intro was made by our friend Marty from Forgotten Silence Band. And it was meant to be as an opening intro for the live shows. So we used this song maybe 3 next years as the opening intro when we started our concerts. But I didn't play any instruments on it. This song was completely composed and recorded by Marty.
Okay. 2012 and the album Heretic Commander Rise of the New Antichrist. We find as a guest Vlasa on guitar, still present in the band. Can you tell us about his integration?
What integration you mean? Because there was interruption. I didn't hear you completely.
I repeat. 2012 and the album Heretic Commander Rise of the New Antichrist. We
Yes.
find as a guest Vlasa on guitar, still
Aha.
present. Accent French.
Understand now. Okay, Vlasa. You know, at the time, the Vlasa was a session member for live shows on guitar.
Okay.
And we had a guitarist, Igor, from Root. And we recorded the album as a 3-pieces band, me, Pegas, and Igor. But because of the fact that Vlasa was doing all the tours and concerts with us, and Igor didn't play any solos on guitar, we asked Vlasa to record the solos for this album. And it was also good for us because he was a member of Hypnos on stage. So it would be good to have him on the record. But at the time, it was the session appearance. But after that album, we decided to join the band with Vlasa as a full-time member because he was really dedicated to a band and he was doing a really good job for us. We became a good friends and we wanted to have a Vlasa as a full member. So that's why.
Okay. I would like you to talk about the song Aliens of Snakes. Do you think all what said about reptilian rules is true? I think about Illuminatis, David Icke, Nibiru, or the series V.
Sorry, again, there was some interruption. Alliance of Snakes and?
Okay. Do you think all what's said about reptilians rule is true? Illuminatis, David Icke, Nibiru, or the series V?
I'm sorry, I don't understand this question at all.
I repeat.
I know it's something about reptilian conception, Alliance of Snakes, but I don't know really the reason of your question. I'm sorry.
The question is, do you think all what's said about reptilians rule is true?
I don't know what to say about it. You know, it's 13 years ago, and I don't have a lyric in my head, so I don't know what to tell you about this.
Okay. So 2014.
I take my joker. I take my joker. Skip this question and go to the next one.
Okay, no problems. So next one, 2014. Creator is reforming with you and Pegas. Can you talk about this reunion?
It was huge. It was really huge for us. We are small bands, Krabator and Hypnos, but in the place we are having our careers, it was really huge event. And actually, it was because of the brutal assault main promoter Tomáš Fiala, who wanted to bring reunion of Krabator on the stage of brutal assault. And we are friends with Tomáš, and we were talking about it a few times during last years. But I always said, I'm angry with Christopher. I don't want to talk with him. I don't want to meet him. Let's have them reunion, but reunion with Paul Speckman and Skull. This was the last lineup. Let's do reunion with them. I don't care. I have Hypnos. I just don't want to be a part of it. And it was a few years like that. And once Tomáš was in Maryland, that fest in the United States. And because Christopher moved to States 15 years ago and he's living there, Tomáš decided to visit him in Chicago and talk with Christopher in Chicago about reunion of Krabator and Brutal Assault. And Christopher said, yeah, I'm open-minded to it. Let's do reunion. And Tomasz said, okay, I talked to Bruno again. And Bruno said, no way. I just do not want to be part of it. So it took maybe 1 year or something. And Christopher was contacting me because of some reissues of old albums of Krabator on vinyls and so on. And he needed some advices from me and to discuss some things. And we started to communicate a little bit. And during this communication, I was feeling that my hate is not as big as before. And in the end, I decided to open the gates and start new period of our friendship, because the reasons why I left the Krabator years ago were left. It was the part of the history, and I didn't want to spend the rest of my life with hate to Christopher. So I said, okay, let's try it. And we met with Christopher, and first I offered him to join the Hypnos on guitar for some special shows when he will be in Czech Republic. This actually never happened. And when Tomasz Fiala saw us together again, because we published the photos from the meeting and with the first original Krabator lineup and so on, Tomasz contacted us again and said, hey guys, let's do the comeback show at Brutal Assault. So we decided to go for it. He asked Pegas to join us on drums, because Pegas recorded the important album Lies for Krabator, and he was with me in Hypnos. He was active musicians. He really remembered the songs. We were sure he will play them well. And the most we knew, he is good friend of us, and that we want to spend time with him. So we created the lineup from the Lies album. We created the playlist, and we prepared for the Brutal Assault show, and we performed in August 2014 at this festival, and it was really great success for us. One of the biggest events in my career of musician.
Okay, so Alive is released in 2015. Rebirth or Brutality live in USKR.
Yeah. It's our
sorry,
hometown. Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Can you tell? Okay. Well, can you talk about this show?
Yeah. When we played the Brutal Assault comeback show, the same day we decided to do a short tour over Czech Republic and Slovakia, and again with Brutal Assault promoters in the background. And it was 7 shows, with 2 last shows in our hometown, because the first evening in our hometown was sold out on Saturday. So we decided to even the Sunday and the next day. And this live video is from the Saturday in our hometown in Uherské Hradiště. It's called Rebirth of Brutality, and it was released as a very nice with a live CD and 2 live DVDs, 1 DVD from our hometown and 1 DVD from Brutal Assault, plus some drum videos and interview and some interesting materials.
Okay, so we arrived at the end of this session. I suggest a new little cut.
Still 11 years left, because we are in the year 2015, and now it's 2025. There's still 10 years left to talk about.
Yes. 15, not 5. Yes. Okay, so suggest a little cut, and I send a new link.
Okay. Come
okay.
on.